Hello and welcome to Live. My name is Deb Kling, Vice President of Marketing here at A3, the Association for Advancing Automation. And we are here today with Brian Casey, President and CEO of ECP PCB Stator Tech, Brian has an engineering degree, but more importantly, he has over 30 years experience in both the energy and the technology industries. He has worked many startups, from startup to scaling up to growth phase to acquisition, and he's here representing his company today. Just a real quick intro on ECM. They're developing a new motor design and SaaS company. They pair advanced motor CAD with a patented PCB, printed circuit board technology, to create the next generation of electric motors. He's going to show us one too. This technology is really offering a replacement for your traditional motors. You have quieter, lighter, more energy, more space efficient across a broad range of industries, and we're here to hear all about that today. So welcome, Brian.
Thank you so much, Deb. And I was going to say, that's a wrap. You got everything.
That's a wrap.
You got it all.
Let's call it. I know, right?
Where do we sign on the dotted line?
We want to hear about it. I've been to his company in Boston. Amazing. The company, the people, the product especially. Tell us a little bit about it.
Oh, thank you so much. So really, it's very unique software, optimization software that's simulated annealing and allows innovators, engineers who are, let's say they're using like a SolidWorks product. This is a CAD/CAM product for motor design, and it allows them to dial in exactly what they need for their application from a speed, torque, power standpoint. And then the other part that's really unique is it creates automatically a Gerber file that you can then take that to any printed circuit board house in the world and print your electric motor. So if you look at here on the screen, we have this is a traditional stator, and I'll hold it up. You can see how much bigger it is, and then this is the one that's printed with our technology. So this is 10% of the weight, a fraction of the weight, a fraction of the size.
Unbelievable.
And you can print it in scales. You can print millions of these at any PCB house in the world. So it's really turning the motor world upside down a little bit.
Can they
Very
design
disruptive.
it themselves, or do they work with your company to do the actual design through the motor CAD?
Both. It depends on
Okay.
the sophistication of the user. We have some clients that are internalizing this, creating their own motor companies, or
Okay.
basically franchising the technology, and they have engineers that can do everything themselves. And then we have others that are like, hey, I only have a discrete application that I want to use your technology for, and we'll use our own in-house engineers to design it, build them a prototype, and then when they want to go to scale, we'll have them with one of our contract manufacturers.
I know that some of this is top secret, that you can't share all your customers and end users, but maybe some of the applications that you guys have been involved in.
So we're fortunate, knock on wood, we're blessed to have some of the marquee industry leaders in HVAC, robotics, automation. We're doing everything from a very small, it's probably the size of a quarter, for haptics and feedback for a high-end simulation product, all the way up to a 20 horsepower pump. So it has appeal at a wide cross of market verticals. And our job, honestly, is to be disciplined to pick those clients that are going to help us commercialize and exploit the technology. And exploit's the right word.
We've used the term disruptive technology for this product. Can you say what's disruptive about it?
Yeah, I mean, in very simple terms, I think what's most disruptive, I mean, the software is key, and that's fantastic, but the fact that we're leveraging an existing manufacturing methodology that's been around for 40 years, right? So printed circuit boards,
Absolutely.
we see those green boards in the back of your computer, in the back of your cell phone, and all we're doing is, like, as far as the production floor goes, they're just like, they're doing everything the same and normal.
Right.
We're just interrupting that binary file, that Gerber file, replacing it with what our software produces, and instead of putting transistors and all kinds of electronics on it, it's making these etchings in each of the layers of copper, and hence that's why you have this stator.
It seems like that would be a lot more sustainable and energy efficient just by looking at all the wires that are on one side versus the other side. Do you have percentages or any kind of quantitative numbers behind that?
Yeah, I mean, a fraction of the copper. This is, like I said, it's probably,
yeah.
it's almost a direct correlation with the weight, but I would say this is probably 10 to 15% of the copper that's consumed here. And because it's encapsulated in FR4, it has a very good, what I would call shelf life or optimization, so it can be reused. Like the traditional parts of a motor, the bearings and the shafts will wear out before the stator will.
Absolutely.
So in theory, you could remove all your casings, pull this back, you don't even have to recycle it, just reuse it in another frameless or frame motor.
So one of the ways that some of the things we see now is somebody needs a motor, they just go online, they're like, I need this horsepower, I need it off the shelf, I want it tomorrow. There's the right customer for that.
Correct.
And then there's the right customer for your product. What's the right customer for your product?
It could be a customer that's used to buying motors that way,
Okay.
and is not quite a right fit. Like what's great about walking the floor here with all these robotics companies, you'll see these beautiful, elegant machines, and they'll have a giant soup can as an elbow on a joint, right?
Right.
And they're kind of stuck with like, they've been designing their application around a motor from a catalog. We flip that whole paradigm on its head, and we say like, well, why would you do that? If you know what you want, design your motor around the application, and that's where we're a good fit.
That's a great.
We may not be the good fit, the same fit for everyone. For some people, it's almost too much open-ended choice or flexibility, and they're kind of like it's overwhelming. So we try to help our clients condense that.
Tell us a little bit about ECM. Like, how big are you? Where are you at when you're in your production and all of that?
It's probably, I guess we can't really say startup now because
a little further than that.
Yeah, a little further than that.
Just a little, though.
But this is my fourth. I like to call it my fourth rodeo. So, and the team is just super, super talented. We have a little over 35 employees.
Oh, fantastic!
But we have a global reach. I mean, we're working with the who's who in Japan, Europe, here in the States, Canada, Asia, really well-known marquee names, and everything from like robotics to kitchen appliances. We're working, recently we just got an overture for a traditional garbage disposal manufacturer.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, and you would never think of that, but...
And you could see that, and I think like the restaurant industry is just booming from an automation perspective.
Correct.
I could see that being something that would be...
But we're going to give them increased clearance under the sink.
Yep.
And it's a fraction of the weight. So when we actually built the prototype for this client, my team, when they wanted to show it as installed within a commercial kitchen sink, and they said it was just because it was so light they could install it with one hand.
Oh my gosh.
So some of this stuff is going to percolate, and once it gets into the market, we'll start to be able to be more public with who our clients are.
Yeah, totally. So you're at the show.
Yeah.
What's your booth number?
I'm so bad.
No, I haven't.
Tell me. Thank you. Is it a trick question?
It's 3476.
3476.
We're not ending the thing. I just want to make sure people know that they can go see your design. What else are you showing at your booth? Besides?
So we're showing some actual prototypes that we built.
Oh, cool.
We're showing some demonstration models. We have some actual, stators that we've developed for our clients, and then thankfully, we have people more knowledgeable than me at the booth that can answer the questions.
You're pretty knowledgeable. Some of the other things we talked about was sustainability and regulation aspects.
Yeah.
Can you talk on that at all?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
So that's a great question. Thank you. We had one client who's in the fan business, and let's just call it a bathroom fan.
Okay.
And they are Energy Star, kind of like darlings. They're very good at the Energy Star program.
Okay.
And they wanted something quieter, thinner. They came to us, we modeled it, we built them a prototype.
Oh, cool.
Gave it to them, they tested it, and they're like, very good, too good. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, you crushed the Energy Star rating. We want you to dial it back. We want to beat the Energy Star rating, we don't want to crush it.
Oh.
And the reason that's important is we were able to remodel it and show them that we could bring some cost out of it by just like hitting the efficiency. So let's say they wanted to be 90% efficient. We were at 91, 92. They're like, hey, bring it to 88. And then we're able to make even a more cost-effective design. So it's pretty cool.
And I imagine as you do quote your product, you have to look at the overall, like you said, the overall solution. It's not just motor to motor.
No.
You have to look at how much are you saving in the other areas.
How much you're saving in shipping, application synergies. One of the things that the typical market offers in a catalog scenario, the catalog is good for both OEMs and the users because they can pick like kind of a menu. But let's say you don't really want a 5 horsepower.
Okay.
You don't really want the next one down, which is 3 horsepower.
Yes.
You want a 4.2 horsepower. Well, ECM can do that for you.
Which is unique and cool at the same time.
Unique and cool. And from a sustainability standpoint, it's it's leapfrogs above just efficiency improvement. It's actually dialing in what you exactly need. So there's no waste.
You're not oversizing and then oversizing more because of the offerings that are available to you. Totally get that. You've won some awards. I mean, first of all, you've won the award here.
This is the best.
Award at the A3 Innovation Awards, which is we just awarded yesterday. amazing in our software category. ECM won that, and it, just such an incredible technology that you've got here. Tell me more. I know I've talked to your partner in crime, Jake. There. What else have you guys been involved in?
I think really the technology is starting to become adopted and speak for itself.
Yeah.
And we've been very blessed, fortunate to have, like I said, a very talented team. And through Jake, we've won, I think we've had 14 awards this year alone.
Oh my gosh, 14.
Yeah, 14
Just
awards.
this year?
This year alone. So we're definitely
You're
raising.
setting the bar for next year pretty high.
Well, maybe there'll be better awards.
Yeah,
so.
and enhancements.
Enhancements. No, but I think it's reflective
Yeah.
of what's going on in the marketplace. The whole axial flux, really to bore the audience now, coreless or air core machines.
Yeah.
That is relatively a new motor topology, and our software and technology allows people to participate in that new space very efficiently. And I think that's why we're getting the recognition that we're getting.
Absolutely. And like I said, I've been there. It's amazing what I saw. And your team, top notch.
Thank you so much.
It's really
Kind of you,
cool.
thank you.
Is there anything you want the listeners to know that we haven't talked about?
Oh, we're here to take on we love challenges.
Okay.
If you have a challenge, it helps. What's great about the software is it improves on itself. It is a form of AI, so that every time we develop a product or an application for a client and we test it, we put that information and data back into the software. It makes it better. So
that's cool.
We like challenges. So please, challenge us, and if we can help you, we'll help you.
And if they can't get to your booth, which once again is 3476, they can
3476.
They can check you out online or give you a call. But that does conclude our interview today. It was
Awesome.
wonderful talking to
Thank you so much.
and thank you for joining us here at Automate Live.
Thank you, everyone.